right. What is up, everybody? Hope you're doing good this race weekend. Let's jump right into it. The paint team preview link is right there at the top of the chat. If you want to jump in and join in, starting with, of course, the Nashville paint schemes. The number one Bush Light has the music notes and the guitar on the side of it. Good looking car. Bush Light always bringing it. Got a neon effect to it. Last week's winner looking good this week, at least on the speed charts. Ross Chastain starting it off good with a solid paint scheme here. Traditional classic here with a discount tire on the side of Austin Cindric's discount tire Ford Mustang Dark Horse. Toys for Tots here with a sort of patriotic scheme on the side of Austin Dillon's number 3 Richard Childress Racing Chevrolet. So good cause there. Good looking car as well. So two combinations are a good deal for sure. Rush Truck Center is a traditional scheme, but always a good-looking scheme for one Noah Gregson on the side of his number 4 Mustang Dark Horse. HendrickCars.com for Kyle Larson. No surprise there. Solomon Plumbing with a camo scheme, a gray sort of urban camo scheme on the side of the number 6. Got an orange 6 on the side of it, I guess, for being here in Tennessee this week for one Bradley Keselowski. Garner Trucking Incorporated, the red, white, and black on the side of the number 7 for Justin Haley. Another good looking scheme, but so far nobody has knocked Ross off the top of the pedestal here. Zone on the side of Kyle Busch's car. Very, very typical scheme for him this year, sort of his main scheme, if you will, for the most part. Kelly Blue Books on the side of the number 9 for Chase Elliott. Good looking car here. Got the powder blue, petty blue, whatever you'd like to call it. Then you've got the Duke Blue 9 and the a little bit of Napa yellow trim on the side of that Kelly Blue Book as well. So good looking car there for Mr. Chase Elliott. Grizzly nicotine pouches on the side of the number 10 for Ty Dillon. A good looking Chevrolet there for him, but we've seen that one before. 11 progressive petty blue for Denny Hamlin once again this weekend. Will he be able to park it in victory lane with those colors? We will see. On the hood is Cardell Cabinetry, but of course on the side, as usual, is Menards for the number 12 of old Dirty Blaney, no longer young Ryan Blaney. AJ Allmendinger had a little bit of trouble. We're going to get into that in just, or at least his team got him into a little bit of trouble. We'll touch on that in just a minute. But the leaf filter is on the side of the number 16. Classic scheme for him, the gutter protection company. Oikos on the side of the 17, a all black scheme here with a red 17 Oikos car for Chris Buescher here. Good looking car. I like it, but I'm not going to knock Ross off just yet. Right now, Ross is holding strong with the best scheme that I've seen so far. Number 19, Bass Pro Shops, Tracker Boats, ATVs, Black Rifle Coffee, Timber Camo, True Timber Camo on the side of the JGR number 19 for Chase Briscoe, who is your pole sitter, but we're going to get to the rundown here in just a minute. Christopher Bell with a DeWalt Toyota got a little bit of a different scheme here today. Looks like they got their rebar on the side of the car for the DeWalt Camry here today. Freightliner has the sort of a map ghosted in to the 21 car here for Josh Berry and the Wood Brothers. 22, the typical scheme there for Joey Logano. Chumba Casino is on the side of the 23, and every time this is on the side of a car, it really reminds me of Talladega Nights, the Laughing Clown malt liquor car. It really, really looks a lot like that car. Raptor High Heat. So a different Raptor scheme here today. This one's got the red flames on the front of it, so different Raptor deal for William Byron. Of course, this is their High Heat lineup of products. Love's Truck Center, typical, their traditional, I keep saying typical, traditional paint scheme for Pickle Todd Gilliland in the 3-4. 35, driven by Riley Herbst, has Monster, his traditional paint scheme as well. Mystic Lubricants is on the side of the City Guard number 38 for here, Zane Smith. Can he improve on his second place finish from last season? That remains to be seen. Good looking car though, but I'm still going to keep Ross here in the top spot. So far, the one car holding strong. DriveValue.com on the side of John Hunter Nemechek's car. Good looking car. Got gold, blue, and white on this one. Good looking car, but still not enough to knock off the one car. Dollar Tree, their traditional scheme on the side of Eric Jones' car. Fanatics, number 44 for JJ Yaley, orange and black. Good looking car for for them, but not touching Ross. Pinnacle on the side of the Beast, Circle K, Toyota Camry for 1, Tyler Reddick and his number 45. Nas with always bringing the heat with their paint schemes, but I'm still going to tip the hat here to Ross with the 47 here of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. looking very good in the Nas Energy Chevrolet. Arby's with the gold rims and the red. I love this car, but we've seen it before, so I can't take Ross out of the top spot. 54 Interstate batteries. Interstate always doing a great job. A traditional lightning bolt scheme here for Rocket Randall Ty Gibbs here. Let's see, Ryan Priest with the Trimble Kroger Ford Mustang Dark Horse, yellow and blue. So good looking car for him, but I don't think he has anything for Ross Chastain. The 66 of Chad Fincham, the Ayers Ford for Garage 66, and Carl Edwards. Cooper and Hunter also on the side of that machine as well. And Chiefs, the bar in Nashville, owned by Eric Church. It's not going to knock off the number 1 car as best looking scheme, but this might take over the lead for the ugliest paint scheme, maybe of all season for Corey Heim there, but hopefully it'll look better if he can get a good run out of it. That is for sure. 71 Delaware Life. We've seen that one before. They got the red, the white, the teal, and the blue on the side of that one for Michael McDowell and the 71. 77 Ziegler.com. We've seen that one again. Traditional paint scheme for them and Carson Hocevar. The 88 Red Bull for SVG, Shane Van Gisbergen in Nashville. Good looking car. Red Bull always bringing the heat. So I'm just going to put Trackhouse 1 and 2 right now for Ross Chastain, and then the Red Bull 88. And you know what, Tootsies? I'm just going to make it a 1, 2, 3 for Trackhouse. The 99, I'm going to put him in second place and bump the Red Bull car to third. The Tootsies Chevrolet for Daniel Suarez, a good looking car as well. All right. That's what they look like. Now, how did they qualify? Starting in last place is going to be AJ Allmendinger, because they made unapproved adjustments to the spoiler. So he is actually going to be relegated to start in last place. Right in front of him is going to be Chad Fincham, JJ Yaley, Riley Herbst, John Hunter Nemechek, Todd Gilliland. Round out your top 8 or your row 18 drivers. Cody Ware and Corey Heim will be row 17. Ty Dillon, Daniel Suarez in row 16. And then in the 29th and 30th place is going to be Cole Custer and Noah Gregson. Kyle Larson rolling off 28th, Zane Smith 27th, Carson Hocevar 26th, Kyle Busch 25th. 24th through 20 is going to be Alex Bowman, Shane Van Gisbergen, Ty Gibbs, Austin Dillon, and Josh Berry in the 20 spot. 19 through 15 is going to be Ryan Priest, Justin Haley, AJ Allmendinger, Austin Cindric, and Ryan Blaney, your 15th place man. Starting 14th going to be Eric Jones. 13th place is going to be Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the Nas Chevrolet. Bubba Wallace in the Chumba Casinos. Number 23 rolls off 12th. Chase Elliott in the Kelly Blue Book Chevrolet rolling off 11th. And finally, your top 10, the 17 Kroger Oikos Ford of Chris Buescher is in 10th place. Joey Logano, your 9th place man in the Shell Pennzoil Ford. Delaware Life and Michael McDowell roll off 8th in the 71 car. Christopher Bell in the DeWalt Toyota in 7th place. Solomon Plumbing Ford of Brad Keselowski in the 6th car rolls off in 6th place. And in the 5th place, it's going to be Ross Chastain, last week's winner in the Busch Country Chevrolet. Good looking car by far, in my opinion, the best looking car here today. Tyler Reddick in the Pinnacle Toyota rolling off in 4th place. The 3rd place man is going to be William Byron in the Raptor High Heat Chevrolet. And your starting front row is going to be James Dennis Allen Hamlin, the law firm, and Progressive Toyota number 11, and his teammate, Chase Briscoe. Once again, your pole sitter in the Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet. All right, that's how they're going to start. But who actually is going to run here? Who's going to be able to keep it up front? How are you going to set your fantasy lineup? And here we go. Kurt Busch, not in this, but of your racers since 2022, the best average finish goes to, in 1 start, Zane Smith. Can he improve on that today? But drivers that have 3 starts in that time, Kyle Larson is your highest at a 5.7, 7.0 for Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott at a 7.7, Joey Logano at a 9.7, Ryan Priest in 2 starts here as a 10.0 average finish, 11.3 for Bubba Wallace, 13.0 for Ross Chastain, AJ Allmendinger at a 13.3, and Ryan Blaney at a 15.0. So those are your best average finishers. Let's go to previous winners. In the last 3 races, we have 3 different winners. Ross Chastain, Joey Logano, and Chase Elliott take those honors. And the most top 10s in that particular period go to Kyle Larson, who has 3 out of 3. And then 2 apiece for Ross Chastain, Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney, and Denny Hamlin. And then, of course, let's go to driveraverages.com's average rating, and they've got Denny Hamlin as your favorite driver here at a 122, 110 ranking for Ross Chastain. Chase Elliott is a 104, but the man who has the pole, Martin Truex Jr., the car he's sitting in, is at a 107.7. So that's why I have the poll question that I have right there. Of those drivers right there, those 4 drivers, Hamlin, Chastain, Briscoe, and Elliott, who is going to get the best finish? So go ahead and get your votes in on that. As far as me making a guess out there, I'm going to say Kyle Larson is either going to win this race. That's me voting average finish. But if you're voting by the numbers, you've got to tip the hat to Denny Hamlin and Ross Chastain here. Chase Elliott would sort of be your dark horse wild card, if you want to call him that. Tyler Reddick and Ty Gibbs would also be 2 really good wild card picks here, especially Tyler Reddick with the speed he's shown. So all those would be good picks. But if you're going statistically, you got to go Chastain or Hamlin or Chase Elliott. But this just feels like a Kyle Larson type of track. So all right. Let's jump into the chat and see what you guys want to talk about. If Trackhouse wins tonight, says Tim Brace, I may just eat at Tootsie's in the Nashville airport on my way home this weekend. Who is with me, says Tim Brace. Well, that is certainly a possibility because you've got some good Trackhouse drivers here for sure. And of course, one of the previous winners is Ross Chastain. So it definitely could happen again. So odds are there is a good chance that Tim Brace will be eating at a Tootsie's. One wise guy saying he's going to try to make the stream here, but if he doesn't, Hamlin and Reddick's race to lose. Really good pick statistically. That is definitely fleshed out. Jesse Daly saying, "What's up, BB? Hope all is well." All is well, Jesse Daly. Appreciate you hanging out with us once again, Mr. Jesse. And yeah, I'm doing good. Hope you are as well. Dirty Def saying, "Congrats to Tyler Reddick for him and his wife. New arrival of a newborn baby boy last week." Says Dirty Def. Indeed. Rookie George Reddick, I think, is the name of what they named the child. So Rookie, I think, is his name. But George, I guess he'll go by George Reddick. I don't know. Rook, maybe. I don't know. Interesting name. What's up in between the lanes? Good to see you on here, my friend. OJ and Toothpaste also going with Kyle Larson, saying go Larson. Quattro saying let's go Ross back to back. So Quattro wanting the back to back. I tell you what, statistically, this is definitely one of Ross's best tracks, and he certainly could get it handled here today, no doubt about it. The 67 has the worst scheme of the weekend, says OJ and Toothpaste. Yeah, Eric Church. He needs to go back to the drawing board with that particular logo on the side of Corey Haim's car. But the good news is Corey Haim is driving a car, so he will get some more experience in the Cup Series with that. Joseph Wooten, Ross wins on Earth 2. So Joseph Wooten's picking Ross to finish last here. Interesting pick there, no doubt about it. Dirty Def, any news on Denny Hamlin driving tonight? I know Ryan Truex is his relief driver in case he has to leave. Yeah, as far as I know, I haven't heard anything there, but he does have a driver on standby. He is expecting a child as well. So we will see. One of his better tracks. So it's going to be interesting to see. But of course, if they're having the child, he's going to jump out of that thing and go be with his child, especially at this point in his career. But we will see what happens. So yeah, that is definitely an interesting layer to watch added to this. John P. Hey BB, my mom is going through menopause as she ages. I was telling her certain genres of music can make it better. Do you have any recommendations? I don't know, man. I'm not a huge metal person, so you'd have to proceed with that one as you may. There are several metal fans, however, in the chat. Maybe they can mention something down here for you, for your mom to check out there. What did you think of the Harvick finish last night? Says OJ and Toothpaste. Great racing. The 16 washed up and took out Kevin Harvick in the 29. But took out what, 2 or 3 cars, maybe 4, and then Keelan Harvick slid to the inside there and got in front of all of them. So there you go. A Harvick got taken out, and a Harvick went to the front. So it was a good day and a bad day to be named Harvick. But yeah, great racing there before the contact and all that happened for sure. David Smith saying great race last night. Let's go Moose, says Shah. So yeah, the race last night, I didn't get to see it because I still haven't set up my antenna to get the CW. So I didn't see the Xfinity Series race, but Justin Allgaier, Kenny Wallace this morning had some strong feelings on Justin Allgaier. Says he's feeling that Justin Allgaier is getting pushed out, and he doesn't think, and he doesn't want the CW or anybody to argue with him, because he knows they're pushing him out because he's been through it. So that was an interesting conversation from Kenny this morning regarding that. But for sure, Kenny Wallace getting it done. No doubt about it. But yeah, Allgaier, I should say, getting it done, and Kenny Wallace defending him is what I meant. Hey, again, from up here in Nova Scotia. What's up, Danny Price? What's up, Nova Scotia? Let's see. Congrats to young Keelan Harvick on winning at Kern County. Oh yeah. So not only did he beat his dad, but he beat his dad at his dad's own racetrack. So good job, good work there for Keelan Harvick. Had a little bit of help, a little bit of an assistance, but it is what it is. Not jinxing anybody, so I voted for Denny. Says Dirty Def. So yeah, as it stands right now, looks like Chastain is leading in the vote here. But it is early. Hello from Nova from Alberta. Says Shop. Grizz saying Denny is on baby alert. He may not be able to finish the race if his wife goes into labor, says Grizz. Indeed. This is definitely one of his better tracks. No doubt about that. But unfortunately, he could possibly be pulled away from it. Well, I'm not going to say unfortunately, but it's just going to be an interesting situation to follow for sure. No doubt about it. John P., I may be having a child soon. Might be 4 different dads, possibly. Do you think natural birth or C-section is better for my possible baby mama? Leave that up to trained professionals. I'm not gonna weigh in on that one. But congrats to you, John P. So John P. on watch as well. He might not be able to finish the glizzy eating contest that he's going to partake of tonight as well. Dirty Def, what would it mean if Suarez got a win today? Definitely could throw a wrench in silly season. Yeah, for sure. Trackhouse, this is sort of their home track, so you have to expect all of those cars to have more speed, or at least more of a focus on this race than maybe some other teams would put on it. So that would definitely be a possibility that Suarez could throw a monkey wrench into it. Rosie saying congrats to John P. as well. I put my vote in for Chase Biscuit. Today is the day of the 19. Puts it all together, says Charlotte. So Charlotte going with Chase Briscoe. Certainly the numbers, if you look at the numbers of the car, Martin Truex Jr. was always good here. Now that Chase Briscoe's in that car, you would imagine that speed would carry over. Elements of that setup, you would imagine, would still be on the car. So this could be the day for sure that they get it done. Good catch, BB. Didn't even realize that Rookie was part of his name, says Dirty Def. Yep, it was an interesting name for sure. 3 poles for Chase Briscoe, says in between the lanes. Yep, and 2 of them back to back. Shout out to Eric Church, also says in between the lanes. Indeed, the writer of Talladega. So every Cup season they're going to play that song twice. So he smartly wrote that one for the royalties. John P. saying, Rosie, thank you. We will see what the results are. We may go on Maury to do the reveal, says John P. So look for John P. on Maury for his not only the baby reveal, but his face reveal on the Maury Povich Show. Maury. So for fantasy, if I pick Hamlin and he leaves, do I still get points? Yes. I'm pretty sure they still will score the points of that car because Hamlin is starting the race. So you will still get whoever jumps in that car. You still will get the finishing points for that as well. Shout out to Marietta, New Jersey's legend, Ryan Truex Jr. the third, says in between the lanes. Indeed, we might see a Ryan Truex Jr. the third sighting here today. Charlotte Anders says country music seems to combat the effects of metal pause. Well done with the spelling there, Charlotte. Kevin Harvick's Kern County is a racy track, says Dirty Def. Yeah, it looked like it had several grooves, and they had a lot going on there before it was unfortunate contact. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but the 16 definitely slid into the 29. We can say that for sure. John P., keep us posted. We can ask BB to do a gender reveal, says Rosie. So we might do that here if you just let me know here, John. We'll get it all lined up for you. You watching some UFL today? Says OJ and Toothpaste. Yeah. So when the IndyCar race ended today, shout out to Kyle Kirkwood, by the way, who got the win with half of a spoiler hanging off on the front wing, I should say. But yeah, they said, and now UFL football is on TV. What everybody's been waiting for, something like that. I was like, those words have never in the history of Earth ever been uttered. Thank God the UFL is finally starting. I don't think anybody has ever been dying to see the UFL, waiting for any other sporting event to finish. But it is what it is. Fox is going to continue to prop up their UFL stuff. So I don't know. I guess they believe in it. You didn't miss much last night. Track position was just about everything in the Xfinity race at Nashville, says Dirty Death. Kern County is a weird looking track. I do not understand what all that room at the top of turn 1 and 2 is for. There's a lot of tracks like that. We got one down here called Kinley or Southern National, just depending on what you want to call it regionally, the people that go to it. And it looks like it's got all the banking in the world. It looks like the top groove would really work, but everybody just bottom feeds because the way around the bottom, and it's essentially a one groove track, is the fastest route. So that's just the way it ends up sometimes, for sure. El Sean, what's up, my friend? Good to see you on here. John P, I love Smashville. I also call it Nash Vegas. I did a bachelor party there, and it was cinema. I highly recommend for a trip. Great bars and nightlife, but I went to bed by 11 p.m. every night, says John P. For sure. So yeah, there you go. Smashville is what he is calling Nash Vegas here. So there you go. For all of your trip needs, get in contact with John P. He is your travel advisor. Shaw, that was a typo. I can spell good, says Charlotte Ander. LOL, says Shaw. Charlotte BB, I see bot comments. That means you have officially made it. Hey, there we go. Trolls, not so much bots. So there you go. We got bots and trolls today. Hooray, we finally made it. Looks like we made it. Let's see. Yay, I agree. Briscoe could get his first win for JGR today. I remember Ross and Martin Truex Jr. battled for the win here in 2023. Indeed, they did. So it will be really interesting. This seems like a track that, like I said, the last 3 years we've had 3 different winners. This is a track that could lend itself to another not a first-time winner, but a first-time winner, I would say, at this track. Might play into Chase Briscoe's favor. In that 19 car has always been fast here, so might be his day. There are good odds. I do have him, I think, in my fantasy lineup. Chase Elliott wins. Looks good in practice. Chase Elliott I also have in my fantasy lineup as well. Feel bad for Ryan Truex Jr. Hasn't got, and he is a good pick as well there, Joseph Wooten. Good call. I feel bad for Ryan Truex. Hasn't got the starts this year like he did last season. Yeah, for sure. No doubt about it. He's a good driver. He just, I don't know, for whatever reason, can't find the funding or the rides or however it's working out for him. But I would love to see him get a full season and see what he could do points-wise in like a JGR car, an Xfinity or something. BB with a father reveal and a Maury show reboot, says Dirty Duff. 67 car has the best scheme ever in the history of Earth 2, says OJ and Toothpaste. Earth 2, the 67 car is definitely up there. He's up there with the French's Mustard Black Flag number 43 of Rodney Combs. Race day snacks for today, says OJ and Toothpaste. I've got some Planters mixed peanuts or whatever they're called. So that's what I'm going with today, and I've got a nice cold glass of water to chase it down with. Also drinking some LMNT, pronounced Elements. Going to mix in there with that water as well. What was the track that announced they were shutting down this weekend in North Carolina? It's gone by several names. Coastal Plains is the one that I most associate with it, but now they call it New River. But that one's shutting down up there in Jacksonville, North Carolina, I believe is where it's located. Wait, did you say Kyle Kirkwood won in Indy today? Doesn't that mean that he and Pelot have won all the IndyCar races this season? You might be right about that, Charlotte. I'm not a super, but I think you're right. If not, it's really close. I don't know of anybody else that has won this year, but I don't follow Indy that closely either. But yeah, Kyle Kirkwood gets the win today. Broccoli Head Ferrucci, he finishes in second place in the number 14 for AJ Foyt. And I'm just saying that because of his haircut. I actually like Santino Ferrucci, but he does have the Broccoli Head haircut for sure. Vegemite versus Marmite. What do you like better? Says OJ and toothpaste, and I like AJ Foyt too, which is why I brought that up. It wasn't a shot at anybody. I was saying I called him a broccoli head earlier, and people were like, "That's that you're being. Why do you hate Santino?" I was like, I don't hate him. He's just got the broccoli head haircut, a la Jake Paul, Ryan Trahan, and others of their generation. Vegemite versus Marmite. What do you like better? I think you can take both of them and throw them in the trash. I'm good. I'm good. They're well represented on Earth too, though. Probably the title sponsor of both series on Earth too, Vegemite and Marmite. Better late than never. Wise guy, what's up, my brother? Good to see you on here, my dude. Shout out to me at a New Jersey legend. Martin Truex Jr. says in between the lanes. Indeed, Martin Truex Jr. is in the house. I heard there was a black bear in my neighborhood via Facebook. I sold out the manager special meat section and bought a kiddie pool at Walmart. Guess who showed up? Yeah, he is so cute. Says John P. So John P. I got him a new pet, a black bear. They are generally harmless unless there's a mother with her cubs. They rarely do anything but run away. That is for sure. It's Miller time, BB, says Mike Honcho. It is indeed Miller time, Mike Honcho. I like the way you're thinking. Ryan Truex deserves a full-time ride at Joe Gibbs Racing, says OJ and Toothpaste. I'm with you, man. The guy can wheel, no doubt about it. Do you think Ross winning last week gives some of the others, the non-Big Three teams, a chance to find victory lane? Well, yeah, it definitely gives them some momentum. So it gives them some hope, too. So hopefully one of those teams can be the next to sort of upset the order of the mega teams here soon. NBA Finals, Stanley Cup Finals begin this week. Was hoping for the Knicks to force a Game 7. The Knicks couldn't get it done. Too many turnovers there in between the lanes. I did watch a little bit of that game before. It was just pretty obvious the Knicks were never going to they could shrink the lead with at the points I was watching it, but they never could get back in the game against the Indiana Pacers. So shout out to the Indiana Pacers. Caitlin Clark was there cheering them on at the game as well. So a good deal for the Pacers to get to the playoffs. Can they finally punch the ticket and get themselves a championship? Or will it be the Oklahoma City Thunder, who everybody hopes will lose this finals because we're all Seattle Supersonics fans here in our hearts. So we cannot have the Oklahoma City Thunder win that series. Unless you're from Oklahoma, then you can pull for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I will make that exception. So I understand that aspect of it. But as a Seattle Supersonics fan, the Thunder must stay cursed until Seattle gets another team. So go Pacers. Vegemite and Marmite both suck, says Shy. Indeed. I've heard Vegemite and Marmite is the worst crap on earth, says Dirty Def. It is. It's pretty much what's left over after you make beer. I just double checked. Pelot has 5 wins. Kirkwood has 2 wins in 7 races. Charlotte on top of it. Appreciate you. So there you go. Only 2 people have won in IndyCar thus far this season. Broccoli Head is funny, says Camaro 50. Thoughts on Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez race coming up, says Chris Villegas. I hope it's a really good race. I'm just really not super familiar with the track, but I mean, I like road courses personally. I know a lot of people don't. I'm not in that group. So I'm hoping it's a good race. Either way, it's going to be a great experience because there's a ton of fans in Mexico that are going to be super stoked about that race. So I think it's going to be a good deal all the way around. 23 Chumba Casino car is worse than the 67, says Joseph Wood. Nah, it reminds me of the Laughing Clown Malt Liquor. I don't know. That 67 is way worse. In my opinion, those broccoli-haired social media people are just covering their receding hairlines at 20, says Charlotte Ander. Well, if they keep getting perms, they're going to, in my opinion, they're going to self-prophesize the receding hairline. I don't think perms are good for your hair, regardless. One wise guy saying, who's your dark horse? I'm going with, who did I say earlier? John? Who was it? Ty Gibbs? Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs would be a good dark horse here. Nobody's really talking about him. I just hope the new bear and my service coyote I adopted get along. So there you go. John P. with a bear and a service coyote, and don't look at each other as food, says John P. So there you go. John P. with a black bear and a service coyote. I like your style there, John P. Ross has no effect on other teams. For example, Suarez still sucks. The Moose is on the Moose, and one and only, says Shah. So Shah only believes that there is one good driver at Trackhouse, and he didn't even mention SVG. So he's just deleted SVG from his memory. I miss the Seattle Supersonics, says OJ and Toothpaste. Me too. Best jersey in all of sports, in my opinion. Go Pacers, says Billy Vose. Sonics all day. Now a Magic fan, says one wise guy. One wise guy, Team Magic. Say Kyle is going to be stoked when he watches the replay of that. He is one wise guy has accepted his fate. We all pull for Banchero and the Magic now. I appreciate you there, wise guy. Let's see. So Cup teams are leaving from Michigan to Mexico City. So since the Xfinity Series is not going to Michigan, have they announced when and where they are leaving to head down there? When they are leaving to head down there? Says Dirty Def. I haven't heard anything about it, so I don't know. I'm sure they'll figure it out. OBB, I made a comment on one of your videos. I want to stream post race stream. We will come and watch, says Charlotte. I'll probably do it during the TNN portion, but like as far as Amazon goes, I'll have to wait till Amazon finishes, and tonight's a night race, so it's obviously going to finish at nighttime. But maybe some of the day races that Amazon has, I can do a post race stream after Amazon finishes streaming. But tentatively, well, tonight it won't be one. I'll just go ahead and say that. But tentatively, we'll have to see how that plays out. But probably during the TNT deal, I'll probably do a live stream afterwards. But Amazon is covering it so well that there's really like I said, they had 1 million people, but I appreciate it. And there will be other streams. I've been sort of toying with the idea of streaming on Mondays and Tuesdays to make up for the Sunday one, but we'll have to see how that all plays out. I'll just have to keep thinking on it, but I'll let everybody know when I figure out something as far as that goes. Who finishes better, the 23 or the 6? Says one wise guy. That's a good question. Ooh, that's a good question. Brad Keselowski seems to have a lot of speed, and they're on an upward trend. So I'm going to go tentatively with him, but that's a tough one. That's going to be a close call. The Lakers beat the Supersonics. I got to say it was a good day. Shout out to Ice Cube with that classic hit today. It was a good day. Says in between the lanes, indeed. I've been hearing the altitude in Mexico City will hold down the horsepower in the engines. Be curious to see if that impacts anything. Says Dirty Def. Yeah, and I'm sure they'll probably fly somebody out there from Colorado that is used to that type of stuff to try to squeeze extra horsepower out of that thin air as well. I still can't believe NASCAR didn't throw a caution when the 45 hit the wall right in front of Byron with 20 laps to go last week, says OJ and Toothpaste. NASCAR is going to NASCAR, man. You never know when they'll actually throw a caution really quick or when they'll hold their breath and not throw a caution. It's just so whatever. Pacers, Thunder could be a good finals, says in between lanes. Should be, honestly. They're pretty evenly matched. Those helmets, I can't help anyone's hairline, says Rosie. So Rosie's saying the helmets are hurting the hairlines as well. That was crazy, says OJ and Toothpaste. Larson is hungry for redemption and is going to fight for an ego boost. LOL, says 1776 Revival. I'm with you. I think it is. I'm going with Larson as my vote. He was my pick to win the race. Like I said, voting with my head. That's what I'm voting with. But if I'm voting by the numbers, I went with either Hamlin or Ross Chastain. So there you go. And my who was the wild card pick or whatever you want to call it? That is definitely Ty Gibbs. Have you smelled the perming chemicals? Those will absolutely cause lung damage. My mom knows that for sure. She primarily cuts men's hair, but if a lady wanted a perm and rollers, the Kims came out. Says Charlotte Ander. That is true. It has a burning hair smell to it. So I don't know that it's good for anything, including your lungs. So I agree with you. SVG is meh. Maybe someday, says Shah. So there you go. One trick pony. 4-trick pony now, says Shah. Talking about road courses. I had a Ray Allen Supersonics jersey, says in between the lanes. I've got a Gary Payton and a Sean Kemp. I had a Ray Allen, but I don't know what I did with it. But I do still have a Sean Kemp and a Gary Payton when I need to, because I'm too old at this point to really rock them. So I definitely need to put them up on the wall somewhere. Do you like Schlotsky's Deli, says OJ and Toothpaste? Yeah, it's actually pretty good. They have pretty good sandwiches. I haven't eaten there since the early 2000s, but they were good back then. I don't know. Probably a lot's changed since then, but in the early 2000s, they were good. Really good. The pickle they give you with your sandwich is probably my favorite part of Schlotsky's. He's not in the Nashville race, but he would be my dark horse. It would be Keelan Harvick, says Walter Flair. He got it done the other night, no doubt, at Kern County last night, I guess I should say. No need to post a stream with Amazon. They cover it, says one wise guy. Yeah, it's hard to beat them. I got to give them credit where credit's due. In fact, the only reason I was streaming post race is because Fox was not doing a post race. So that was kind of where the post race kind of came from, to be totally real. Let's see. The word perm activates that smell in my brain, says Charlotte. Isn't it crazy? Like, if you can just think about a word or somebody mentions a word, sometimes you can smell it. Smell is one of the strongest senses to jog a memory or trigger a memory. I remember reading that somewhere in psychology class. I don't know if it's true, but it was in a psychology book that I read somewhere. So interesting for sure. My dark horse is a Ford Mustang dark horse. See what I did there? It says in between the lanes. Indeed, in between the lanes, sponsored by Ford and their dark horse Mustang. I agree, BB. Amazon post race is hard to have a post stream when they have a late broadcast for sure. But maybe during some of the day races we can get something done. The Thursday streams were sweet, says one wise guy. So maybe we'll do a Tuesday Thursday type thing. Maybe we can work that out. I don't know. I had to see what everybody thinks about it. Word on the post race comments, fair points about the lateness of it, says Charlotte. Indeed. Now, don't get me wrong. If I lived on the West Coast, I would I would totally go right after. But I do not. Unfortunately, I do not live on the West Coast. We can do an after show while we watch the post race BB. Just a thought, says Shaw. There you go. We can do an after show to the after show. We can do a post race breakdown of Amazon's post race. I've always watched yours and Iceberg's post race stream. So yeah, the Amazon post race definitely muddies things up. Yeah, Iceberg does a good job right after. So actually, the reason I always go like about 30 minutes to an hour after, I like to let Iceberg get going good and do his for a while, and then I jump on because I like to watch Icebergs sometimes myself. Iceberg, good dude. Check him out. Also just welcomed a new baby into his family. So shout out to Iceberg, making big adult moves there. I think married now and has a baby. So there you go. We've watched him grow up right in front of our eyes. Pacers versus Oklahoma City, maybe a good finals, but it definitely won't be good for TV ratings, says Joseph Wooten. Oh yeah. They're smaller market teams, but if they can get a good playoff series going, I think the ratings will bump up. But yeah, it's not going to be as big a ratings as New York. Obviously, if New York was in it, so there is that for sure. Personal opinion: should Larson run the double again? Says Chase Johnson. In my opinion, if he wants to run the double, he should run it as many times as he can. Because how many times in life are you going to get that opportunity? So if that opportunity presents itself, I would take it every time it presents itself. If I thought I had a chance to win the Indy 500. How far have you gotten into the Earnhardt documentary? I'm about to start the last episode. I'm about to start the first episode. I wanted all of them to come out before I started watching it because I don't like something being cut off halfway through. So I'm actually about to start the first one and just binge watch all of it to sort of get it in there. Happened to catch the newest Happy Gilmore 2 trailer. I haven't seen it, but I've seen people talking about it online. So I need to check that one out for sure. It's gonna kind of I don't know, be weird with some of the people not in it. The guy that played Jaws and James Bond's no longer with us, and some people like that. But it'll be interesting to see the take that they take on it going forward. But the first one, an all-time classic. I take BB. Alex Palou wins his 4th IndyCar championship before the Pacers win the NBA championship, says in between the lanes. Interesting. I hope you're wrong. That's all I can say about that. What driver besides Larson would you like to see do the double? Says OJ and Toothpaste. I'd like to see Scott McLaughlin do the double. I think he could certainly pull it off. SVG would be another one that I think would do really well with doing a double. Scott Dixon would be another guy that I would want to see do a double before he retires. Ryan Blaney, because Ryan Blaney wants to do it. I'd like to see Ryan Blaney give it a try. Joey Logano, I think he would be another good one to do it because he's a champion. Anybody that's got a championship, Chase Elliott, anybody that's got a championship recently, Kyle Busch for sure. Like Kyle Busch has obvious interest in it. I'd love to see him do it. Unfortunately, his got shut down by Grandpa Joe over there. So yeah, anybody with a championship in the Cup Series and any of those IndyCar drivers that I just mentioned and SVG. You say KFC, and I can taste it. It's not always good, says one wise guy. Same thing. Here's one that maybe a lot of people not be thinking about, but when I say tequila, how many people can immediately taste tequila and it's not good? You're welcome. You're welcome for that. Songs also often trigger a memory or takes you back to a moment in time, says Dirty Death. For sure. Sound is another one. Not necessarily just songs, but sometimes a sound, period. Shout out to Iceberg, says in between lanes. Indeed. Shout out to Iceberg and everybody at the Daily Downforce and other creators, Elite Precision, CeeLo on the go with CeeLo. Shout out to all of them. All good dudes for sure. Let's see. That's what I meant. A post-race stream after they finish up. I feel like we all still want to talk about talk more about it. I know I do, since nobody I know likes or follows racing. I feel your pain, Charlotte. That's actually the reason this channel exists. I was working in late models, and nobody, even in late models, nobody wanted to talk about the Cup Series. So I was like, all right, well, I'll just go talk about it on YouTube then. And here we are. So let's see. So when are we going to get a little BB, says Shy? Your mom wants to know, says Shy. So that's a great question. Would love to answer it for you one day. I'll check out Brock Beard's post stream every once in a while. Just try to catch a trivia portion. Says they're deaf. Yeah, Brock Beard's another one. I meant to mention him too. Sorry about that. But yeah, for sure, he does a good post race stream as well. BB, the documentary is awesome. You'll enjoy it, says Dirty Deaf. Yeah, so far I've heard nothing but good things. So I'm pretty stoked for it for sure. Are you excited for Grand Theft Auto 6 if it ever comes out? Says OJ and Toothpaste. By the time I've already aged out of it, but by the time it comes out, I'm really going to be aged out of it. So I don't know, man. I just hope it comes out while I'm still on the planet Earth. Jaws and Chubbs sons are in it. Oh, okay, cool. Appreciate you, Dirty Deaf, with the chip shot, the glove save, and a beauty. Let's see. Yeah, so there you go. Jaws and Chubb's sons are in it. That makes it great. That's awesome, dude. So that's cool. I'm glad to see that. It's talking about the Happy Gilmore 2 movie is what we're talking about there. SVG is a good one, and I want to see Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell is a good one too because he races open wheel dirt cars. Good call, OJ and Toothpaste, to do the double. Reddick could run the double. Yeah, Reddick, he's another dirt guy. So dirt guys have a lot of open wheel love as well. Gin is the worst alcoholic nail polish smell, says OJ and Toothpaste. It's an acquired taste, but the sapphire, what is it? The Bombay Sapphire, City Chevrolet wall behind us was built with gin. So there we go. Let's see, Seabell or Reddick might be good. That nobody is being endorsed here because that's against the terms of service. So drink responsibly. Seabell or Reddick might be good candidates for Indy, where the Midwest dirt background, like the lawyer voice inside of my head just said, make sure everybody knows that you're not promoting anything there. As far as the gin and the juice, sipping on it. Seabell or Reddick might be good candidates for Indy with their Midwest dirt background, says Dirty Deaf. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm with you on that one. What up, Kyle and everyone? What's up, Dev Finch? Good to see you on here, my friend. Join the Discord. Charlotte says one wise guy. I'm a big Breakard fan. Breakard is awesome as well. Not too sure about his joke delivery, but at least he tries, says Charlotte. He's got good jokes, but what he does is he doesn't give them enough time in my opinion, this is just me. He just doesn't give them enough time to breathe. He tells the joke and immediately tells the punchline. If he just told the joke and let it breathe for a minute, then got to the punchline, I think he would that would help his delivery quite a bit because he's very deadpan with it. So if he just did it matter of fact like that and then waited a beat and then hit the punchline, I think he would deliver him better. But that's just my opinion. He does a great job for sure. If you're not familiar with Breakard, where have you been? But also check him out and check out his channel. Discord link right there from one wise guy. Any seltzer alcohol is the worst, says Joseph Wooten. Sounds likely that we will see a horsepower gain next year. From however, if NASCAR gives a little, they will take away from another aspect of the car, says 1776. Hopefully the aspect they take away is making the tires more narrow as well. But yeah, more horsepower hopefully will help out. Joseph Wooten doesn't like White Claw. Indeed, there's no laws when you're drinking claws there, Toothpaste. Bombay Sapphire is awful too. Pine Needle smell, says OJ and Toothpaste. Yeah, it reminds me of Pine Sol when you were cleaning your house back in the day when you had to get the coffee table, the wood coffee table that everybody hit their head on as a kid, which is why every kid from the late 80s and early 90s have dents in their head because of the wood coffee tables, allegedly. But yeah, that's what Bombay Sapphire reminds me of. For sure. Shout out to Norman, Oklahoma legend, Christopher Bell, aka C Bell, says in between the lanes. Indeed. Gin and scotch are just awful. Scotch. Watch it go down into my belly. Good. Name that movie. Lawyer voice, probably smart to listen to. LOL, says Dirty Deaf. Indeed. Shout out to Breakard. Indeed. Shout out to Breakard for sure. Discord definitely is awesome, especially for discussions during the race. Shout out to David Land, says in between the lanes. Yep, shout out to David Land, covering all of your IndyCar hopes and dreams and needs for sure. He is the man over there as far as IndyCar goes. Bingo, bango, boingo, BB. It is totally the joke pacing that needs work, says Charlotte Ander. Yep, for sure. I knew someone that drank pop off vodka every single day. So disgusting, says OJ and toothpaste. Kentucky Gentleman and Old Crow were the bottom shelves down here, if I remember. Or Virginia. There was two. Like it depends on what region of North Carolina you bought it from. Some of it was Virginia Gentleman, and some of it was Kentucky Gentleman, and we just called it the Gent. So we just skipped the first name and called it the Gent, but it was the Rock Gut whiskey for sure. Let's see, seltzer, non-alcoholic isn't much better, says Dirty Duff. Yeah, seltzer itself is not that great. When Breakard called Austin Hill man baby, I hit the floor laughing, says Camaro 50. So there you go. Breakard, one of the few people that actually has a reach on Austin Hill. Who Austin Hill isn't as tall as you think he is. The other drivers are just drivers, so they're like 5'5". How about Tyler Walker back in the car? But he's still a good size wide boy. He's still country big. Don't get me wrong. You would definitely have to would use both hands to whip his ass. There's no doubt about that. How about Tyler Walker back in the car? Says Chase Johnson. That's pretty cool for sure. We had a coffee table growing up where the ends flaps that folded in and out. Oh yeah, where you flip it down or flip it in. Yeah, I remember some of those too. Could be tricky. You could get your fingers or your forehead on that one. That was the same coffee table you always kick with no shoes on, says Joe Wooden. Indeed, several toe injuries that we still deal with to this day from those coffee tables. Sky vodka is nasty. Last time I drank it, I was afraid to fart for 2 days, says Camaro 50. So that was there you go. Stay hydrated, my friends. Needing a fantasy comeback today, says Dirty Def. Yep, fantasy has been up and down for sure. OJ and toothpaste, Sailor Jerry's. I will never ever drink it anymore. Had a bad experience with it one night in high school. LOL, says OJ and toothpaste. Yeah, Sailor Jerry's. That was Dan Patrick was sponsored by them, so I tried it one time, and then I was off of Sailor Jerry's, and they were sponsored. They had another one that I tried one time too, and they just never were good. I did have the Red Hook beer. The Red Hook beer they had was pretty good, but they stopped circulating that as well. Shout out to DP and the Dan Patrick Show. Do you think Wendy Venturini will ever get on TV and leave PRN? I don't know. She seems to be happy with what she's got going on. Eric Estep got all NASCAR media beat as far as height, says Dirty Def. Oh, that's you know what? I want to see him and Breakard side by side. I think they're the same height. I would say both of them are at least 6'6" to 6'7". So Breakard could give him a run for his money. I think they're the same height, as far as I know. Eric is tall as F, and I'm 6 foot, says Chase Johnson. Yeah, E-Step's like 6'8", and I want to say Breakard is 6'7", 6'8". They're both super tall, super tall. Let's see. They do make good vodka too, says Billy Vose. Shout out to Dan Patrick, says In Between Lanes. Dan Patrick Show back in the day was awesome. Haven't watched it in a while. Yeah, they kept moving it around. It's now on Peacock. But back when it was on DirecTV, it was awesome. I miss Rich Eisen and the old NFL Network crew in 2009, says OJ and Toothpaste. That was like the era back in the day. Like Dan Patrick would come on in the morning, and then Rich Eisen would be on in the afternoon. If you were on the East Coast, if you're on the West Coast, Rich Eisen would come on in the morning, and Dan Patrick would come on really early in the morning. Eric, I'd say, is a little taller, says Chase Johnson. So Chase has analyzed it, and we're going to go with him. A trustworthy first name. So there you go. So we're going to go Eric. Eric has him on height by just a little bit. So Eric is the tallest. Breakard, definitely the second tallest. If you're a YouTuber that does NASCAR and you're taller than Eric Estep or Breakard, please let us know down in the comments below, and we will rightly crown you title of tallest NASCAR YouTuber. But as of right now, we're going with Estep. Let's see. There's a YouTube channel called Sports on Prime that plays Cup Practice that Amazon Prime is covering, says Sir Woodruff. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Wow, I never knew Breakard was that tall, says Dirty Def. Yeah, he's pretty tall dude. Let's see. I remember the first time he posted a picture of himself on Twitter, and I said that's the first ever YouTube height reveal on Twitter, and he liked it. So he's got a really good sense of humor too. Good dude from my limited interactions with him. Let's see. What do you think the issue with AJ's underbody was before qualifying? I don't know about before qualifying, but I know after they made adjustments to the rear spoiler or diffuser. So it was something toward the rear of the car that they got banged for and sent to the back of the field. BB, have you noticed on Dan Patrick Show's Seton O'Connor sometimes leans his nose into his microphone. Yeah, I don't know if he's got the thing turned really down, but he gets in there like that for sure. No doubt about it. He's an audio guy, so I'm sure he has his reasons for it. I really hope the Mexico City race will be good. I'm with you, OJ and Toothpaste. I'm hoping it is a good one as well. Let's see. Shout out to Rich Eisen. I had no idea Breakard was that tall. Kind of a beanpole, says Shah. So there you go. Good point on tires. Option tires every race would make it way better to watch, says 1776. Yeah. The tires are way too wide and have way too much grip. So that's part of the problem as to why you need more horsepower. I had no idea Breakard was that tall. He looks like a skinny shrimp on his videos. Says in between. Says Camaro 50. Chase Johnson saying laughing my butt off. Yep. If you missed work, Dan Patrick and Rich Eisen were a good day of viewing for sure. Like, and I was doing IT at the time, so I could just put them on. Like, I could like literally listen to them on the radio. As well. Stitcher. There used to be a app. I'm sure it's still around. There was an app called Stitcher, and you could pull them up as far as that goes too. Camaro 50. That's what I thought. Says Shah. Do you iRace Burger? Says Chase Johnson. Nope. I tried it a little bit, and back in the day, I could probably do it now because I've got the Starlink internet, which is way faster. But back in the day, I had CenturyLink internet. And it was, oh God, it was so slow. If anybody remembers the live streams back in the day, they were always, well, not the recently has been on YouTube's end, to be honest with you. But back in the day, the live streams were always a struggle. But the CenturyLink couldn't sustain iRacing because the internet was so bad. So I gave up on it after about a year and never had a chance to fool with it after that, unfortunately. Danny Dye and Colleague can't catch a break, says Dirty Def. Indeed, but iRacing is fun. I will say that. How about a thumbs up for BB? I sold my rig and everything. I had the steering wheel and all that good crap, the chair to sit in. I sold all that stuff. How about a thumbs up for BB? Says Perry Earl. Would be much appreciated, but don't feel pressured into doing it. Dirty Def in Xfinity talking about Daniel Dye in Xfinity can't catch a break for sure. Do you have Amazon Prime, BB? I do have Amazon Prime, and I just need to use Amazon Prime to get an antenna put up at my house so I can get the WB as well. Because I'm missing tons of Xfinity races. Breakard really needs to either grow his hair out or get a haircut. It's getting weird looking, says Shah. I like his hair. I'll tell you what, man. What I miss about Breakard's hair was back in the day where you could tell he literally just woke up and half of his hair would be flat and the other half of his hair would be full and voluminous. That's the Breakard I want to see again. He's gotten way too professional. I want to see Breakard sitting on his couch, just talking with his hair messed up. That's the Breakard hair I want to see, man. That's back when he was out there living it. He was out there living it back then. I'm just joking, but he's got good hair, man. Like he's got probably the best hair in the game, I would say. I'm trying to think of somebody in YouTube with better hair than Breakard. Gonna have to say Breakard number one. As far as NASCAR YouTubers hair, we're gonna go Breakard number one there. Eric Estep number one on height. Yeah, and we're gonna stop there before we get in trouble. So that sounds good to me. Let's see. I doubt Bowman's contract gets extended, says Maverick. We'll see. They've already extended it, so he'll be there next year. So we'll see what happens after that. Interestingly enough, though, Maverick, when they released the Hendrick hats this week for Nashville, they had everybody's hat except for Alex Bowman's. So I don't know what that means, but the conspiracy theorists, of which I am one, are going to run with that. There's no doubt about that. Let's see. Let's freaking go, BB. Race day. It is race day, Russell Dominguez, and everybody is pumped up for it. Thanks for the reminder, Perry, says Rosie. CenturyLink is like dial up. Yeah, OJ and Toothpaste. CenturyLink is some of the slowest internet you can ever have in your life. The tire problem, it's easy to fix. Unfortunately, NASCAR will not do it, says Joseph Wooten. I agree with you, man, 100%. They could at least put grooves in it. I know several, Baron Von Weebs has been on put grooves in the tires for a long period of time. When does the in-season tournament begin? It begins today, if I'm not mistaken, Sir Wood Rooster. I don't really keep up with it, but they haven't really talked about it. But I do think it starts today. What do you think about all the backlash about Prime? Haven't heard you weigh in on it. I don't really. I'm sort of off social media, to be totally honest with you, so I don't really hear too much about it. There's always going to be people that are upset about it, but I think overall, it's been a positive thing because the coverage is good, and so I think it's been a good thing. But obviously, the people that don't have Amazon Prime feel like they're being forced to get it, and so they're going to be angry about it. So yeah, I mean, there's always going to be that. Breakard does have a lot of hair, says Shah. I wish all fans could watch the race, but you're never going to make everyone happy, says Dirty Def. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I just wish one company would carry all of the races. That would be the best thing overall. Sort of like what IndyCar has done this year with it's just going to be on Fox. Shah saying voluminous. Says Shah. He liked the voluminous reference. His hair was wild at times, says one wise guy. Bowman conspiracy theory goes on. Indeed. Breakhart's hair, definitely wild. Bowman conspiracy theory, as long as Bowman drives, will go on. No doubt about it. You are the best hat wearer. BB says Camaro 50. Indeed. Indeed. I do have a full head of hair, but you'll never see it. Let's see. OJ and toothpaste dial-up internet was better, says Joseph Wooten, talking about dial-up is better than CenturyLink. Bowman is in a contract till 2026, says OJ. Indeed. So he will be back there next season for sure. Beyond that, though, that's when we're going to start speculating, OJ. Alex Bowman, always on the hot seat, even when he's not on the hot seat. Tonight's race has been the Ally 400, but now Cracker Barrel. Funny watching drivers' interviews, sitting in Cracker Barrel rocking chairs. Oh yeah, that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. If I had to bet, I'd say Suarez loses his seat before Bowman. Interesting call there, one wise guy. I have ties with Bowman. Word right now is he wants to retire soon, says Chase Johnson. So there you go. There you go. Maybe Bowman just retires. Maybe he's had enough of it, straight up. This is the last week to make the top 32 for the in-season tournament. Next several weeks will determine the seeding. So, okay, there you go. There you go. This is the last week to make the top 32. So Brad Keselowski is on the bubble. I think he's actually on the bubble. I was joking about that, but actually now that I think about it, he might be on the bubble. Fax Camaro, says one wise guy. Yes, for the love of all that is holy, give us one NASCAR carrier, says Shaw. I'm with you on that one. Way back when NASCAR was only on ABC, Wide World of Sports, says PC Gone Rogue. That was good. This race is going to suck, says 777 horsepower next gen. We'll see. I'm hoping it doesn't, but I don't know. We will see. That's all I can say there. Best break hard joke was recently when he was at the hotel and he was addressing people's comments about his dirty clothes on the chair, and he said that's not the worst thing that's been on there. Indeed. Breakard's got some good one-liners, dude. BB lies. He's bald as a cue ball. Prove me wrong. Sure. No problem. I'm not bald as a cue ball. There you go. You've been proved wrong. The seating for in-season tournament, but the tournament doesn't start till TNT's. There is actually one video where I'm talking about the passing of Bob Jenkins and I don't have a hat on. So if you actually want to see my hair and you're super dedicated to it, there you go. That's the video to go watch. Let's see. The seeding for the in-season tournament, but the tournament doesn't start till TNT's coverage. So there you go. They're seeding for the tournament now, whatever that means. Well, that's things. You always wear a hat, BB. I do as well, but unfortunately, the beverage company I work for doesn't allow it. Oh, work getting in the way of your true love of wearing hats. I hate it when that happens. That's when you just got to fight back on the dress code and have an absolutely terrible haircut and see if you can get the you got to fight for your right to party, my friend, and just walk in there with an absolute blazing red mohawk and get the deal done. They'll let you wear hats then. Alex Bowman, or you can convert to Judaism and you at least get to wear the yarmulke back there. So there's all kinds of outs there. Just study up. Alex Bowman could win. Working at Duke changed me forever. Let's see. Alex Bowman could win a championship this season and still be on the hot seat, says Joseph Wooten. That's a fact. Like he, I don't know what else he can do. Like he wins. I don't know. He does pretty good with the equipment he's in. So I don't know. Will Kyle Larson sign a new contract with HMS? He is in a contract till the end of 26, or does Rick let him walk? That's a good question. I assume Rick Hendrick, who is sponsoring Kyle Larson with HendrickCars.com, is probably going to want to keep him, but I don't know. Shout out to Cracker Barrel, says in between the lanes. Yeah, Cracker Barrel, if you like Cracker Barrel, is good. So there you go. They put PJ1 traction compound on the bottom lane. Get ready for a follow the leader, dirty air, one lane track type of races next gen. Oh, the PJ1 forever ruining good racetracks. Brad is in the 32nd. SVG is not far behind at 33rd. Oh, SVG's got to race his way in. Interesting. SVG needs a good finish here tonight to get into the playoffs that I probably will not, or not the playoffs, but the in-season tournament that I will probably forget about after today. Toyota looks to dominate today, for sure, for sure. This is a good track for Toyota. Words, 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 says Shaw, for sure. Did they really put PJ1 down? Says Chase Johnson. I don't know. I don't know. A 777 or 777 next gen. I think so for sure. Let's see. Truck race, 777 next gen. Think so. Truck race and Xfinity race was just mid, so I'm kind of worried about tonight's race. Well, typically these cars race way different, so maybe they'll race way different in a good way. I don't know. They want you to wear a hat after that, says one wise guy. Indeed, NBA on TNT is officially over after last night's Inside the NBA. Lives via ESPN. Says in between the lanes. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Charles Barkley and the gang. That was their last run last night. That stinks. So don't be sad that they're gone. Be happy it happened or whatever, I guess. Luckily, I don't go to the plants every day, so I can still wear one until I go to the plant for meetings. Unfortunately, my hat head is hard to fix. That's okay. That's their problem. They got to deal with it. They made you take the hat off, so that's on them. One wise guy saying, I can see Hamlin retiring and trying to replace the driver at 2311 with Larson. Well, they are friends, so maybe that could happen. Will Hocevar retire at Spire after his career? Says OJ and Toothpaste. I'm going to go with no. He's probably going to be with a bigger team before all is said and done, unless he goes the route of Mark Martin and just stays there forever. Yeah, why did they put PJ1 on the bottom lane? I thought the reason for applying it was for other lanes to develop. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they've got their reason. Yes, they put the traction compound all over the track. Imagine Chastain in the number 2, says Maverick. That would be weird. Hocevar in the 2 would be cool, says OJ and Toothpaste. I thought they talking about so Austin Cindric now apparently is also on the hot seat. So we'll see. Even though he's won a race every year, except for maybe his rookie year at Penske. No, did he win one his rookie year too? I think he's won one race. I'll have to look at it. He's come close to winning one race every year at Penske, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. I thought they put a different compound down, not PJ1. Says 1776. Hot take. HMS lets Larson walk and Hocevar to the 5. In my opinion, there you go. There you go. Chase Johnson going with Larson is out. Hocevar is in. They're going with the new blood. And Bowman stays. They said in the Truck Series race, they put traction compound on the bottom lane. Whoever thought that was a good idea should be locked up, says Next Gen. There you go. Get the traction compound and throw it in the trash. If someone that knows you really well sees you without a hat, do they think it's something serious that's going on? Says Dirty Duff. They probably, I guess if it wasn't for the beard, they probably wouldn't recognize me. Let's see. If someone, let's see, Daytona 500 says Dirty Def. Cars could, rookie year he did win the Daytona 500. Cars could get glued together. I can't remember if he's won one every single year he's been there though. I want to say he has. Cars could glue together. Crowd cannot leave, says Shah. Traction compound on the top lane would have been the only correct move, says Next Gen. So there you go. He wanted it on a different lane, not the bottom lane. Cindric, if they're going to put it down at all, of course. Cindric on his first race in his rookie year Daytona 500. HMS letting Larson leave would be the dumbest since letting KFB go, says Camaro. Corey Heim will win today, says OJ and Toothpaste. So OJ going with Corey Heim on Earth too. Shaw said no. Cindric won the Daytona 500 as a rookie. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if he's won a race every single year. I'm trying to remember if there was a year he didn't win a race since he's been at Penske. I want to say he's won one race every year since he's been at Penske. So I don't know. Is that good enough? Is that good enough for him? Let's see. Maybe on Earth 2, says Shah. OJ saying, what is with all these bots and losers today? Cindric winless in 2023, says Dirty Def. Okay, so 2023 he was winless. Okay, so there has been 1 year, but other than that, he's gotten a win every year at Penske. So I think he's doing all right. Hopefully they don't replace him. I know they hired Dale Jr., but look at what KFB did for Toyota. Yeah. KFB is still probably the driver most synonymous with Toyota, not named Denny Hamlin or Martin Truex Jr. Those would be the big three. When I say Toyota, those would probably be the big three that pop into your head, if I'm guessing. But then one at Gateway last year, says Dirty Def. LOL, it's a joke. Larson won't ever race for another team, says Chase Johnson. Yeah, I got you. I'm following you, brother. I got you, brother. Let's see. Over, under, a repeat 5 times. I'm going to go under. I don't think we get another 5 overtime race for Joey Logano here. So I'm gonna take the under there. Why do you think JGR let Kyle Busch go, says OJ and Toothpaste? Kyle Busch no longer had a sponsor, and Joe Gibbs doesn't like people that have personalities like that if they don't have sponsors and are winning at a high clip. You can even look at his football resume. It's been the same thing. He'll take somebody with a bold personality like that. So I think that played into part of it, and I think the other part that played into it was his grandson was coming up, and he's got to put his grandson somewhere, and his grandson had money. So I think the combination of those two things, and it's just my opinion. Like, I don't know anything detailed about it, but that's just my opinion that he just made the call. Like, you got to get younger at some point. Denny Hamlin is like an extra son to him, so he's going to keep Denny Hamlin there. So he just got rid of Kyle Busch instead of Martin Truex Jr. or Denny Hamlin, and that was to get younger, and that was the call he made. So and if you look at it at the time, Ty Gibbs' winning clip in Xfinity, it's the right move statistically. I mean, they did everything right. You got to give Ty Gibbs time to develop. So it'll take some time to see if it all plays out. But whoever replaces it's the thing, man. Like, whoever replaces Kyle Busch, chances are they're never going to be Kyle Busch. Like, that's the problem of replacing that driver. It's the reason to this day people still get mad that whoever drives the 3 car is not Dale Earnhardt Sr. It wouldn't matter who they put in it. As soon as they don't win 7 races a season, whoever's driving the 3 car, oh, they freaking suck, man. Like, that's the way it's going to be. Let's see. Chase Johnson, nah, not you, BB. LOL. Money is why, says Charlotte. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ty Gibbs was funded as well. That was definitely a huge part of it. Joe needed a spot for baby Gibbs, says Shaw. That was part of it too. My bet is the race tonight will end under a long green flag run, says Dirty Def. Hopefully, I hope so. I don't think JGR likes guys with lots of different sponsors, says Chase. At least in that era, they didn't. It looks like they've warmed up to it a little bit now. If Larson tries to leave HMS, then I could see Rick offering to fund his dirty racing with HMS. Says 1776. Oh, yeah. I think they'll keep him. I think they'll keep him long term. Be curious to see what happens to JGR, Hendrick, and Penske later down the road when the owners decide to step down. I think Hendrick is in a good spot, but I don't know about JGR and Penske. Hendrick's in a good spot just because they're always going to have the Hendrick backing as far as the dealerships and stuff go. I'm pretty sure Rick Hendrick's going to set it up like that. Penske, probably the same way. Joe Gibbs Racing, they let that other entity buy into them. So I do worry about Joe Gibbs Racing, but I feel like the other two, they've sort of got stuff already in place business-wise to always at least have some funding going on. Dirt track is what 1776 meant, but dirty racing. I like that too. Like, that's a good description of it. How HMS has problems getting sponsors for Larson, or does HMS want to use Hendrick.com as a sponsor? Says Maverick. According to Rick Hendrick, who is a car salesman, so take that for what it is worth. He said the reaction from his employees to being on a race car is why they left HendrickCars.com on the side of that race car. And since then, he's also branched out into drag racing and stuff like that. So I'm going to take him at his word for that. I do believe that he just does it to pump up his employees. They like seeing their car out there. Riley Herbst, the driver who's in his car the most because of funding he brings, says Dirty Def. So there you go. Dirty Def saying Riley Herbst is a pay driver. I think that's pretty well acknowledged for sure. Does Daniel Suarez let a 1-year extension with Trackhouse or a 30% pay cut, a 3-year deal with Junior Motorsports and Xfinity? I mean, that's not necessarily a bad deal to take the Xfinity ride, I'd say. So it's all in what he wants to do. But Daniel Suarez wants to race in the Cup Series, so I think he would take a pay cut to stay at Trackhouse if that was available. Larson has no problem getting them, says Chase Johnson. Yeah, I agree with you. Larson could get sponsors for sure if he wanted them at this point in his career. I wasn't worried about Penske until they let most of their executives go last week, says Dirty Def. Yeah, that was interesting. It's going to be interesting. As far as funding goes, Roger Penske's companies, I'm sure he'll write it in there that Penske Racing or Team Penske will keep going when he steps down or whatever. Um, but as far as Daniel Suarez goes, to get back to Sir Wood Rooster's point, if you remember when Suarez was out of a ride back in the day, he drove that 96 car, which had no chance of winning, just so he could stay in the Cup Series. So I think if he can stay in the Cup Series, he'll find a way to stay in the Cup Series, just given his recent history with that deal. Any news about Dodge returning to truck, says Camaro 50? It seems to be what everybody like. I think Jordan Bianchi broke it, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe Adam Stern. So normally when one of them talk about it, it's pretty much written in stone. So just waiting for Dodge to make the official announcement would be my guess there. Ty Gibbs is a long term with their Ram brand, of course. Every time we're like Dodge trucks, everybody's like, it's actually Rams. Yeah, we know, but it's still Dodge. So deal with it. Just like Twitter is always going to be Twitter, we're not going to call it X. Let's see. Ty Gibbs is a long term investment. He will be great. This is in no way an endorsement that I like the little pooper, says Shaw. Yeah, I think Ty Gibbs is going to be a good driver long term, too. I'm with you on that one. From what I understand, Daniel Suarez has a good bit of funding. I think he's got pretty good funding, too. Swalich is the son of his primary sponsor's CEO as well. So there you go. William Swalich. He's a good driver, though, man. So I don't know. But yeah, I guess he's funded by his family there as far as that goes. I appreciate you there, MPF. I actually didn't know that one. No racer does great in his first few years, especially with this car, with the exception of Josephus Hocevar. Penske and Austin Cindric, who won the Daytona 500. Let's see. Penske took a long-term hit, firing all the brass, says Charlotte. Yep, that's going to be a tough one to come back from. Glad Cup was the reality check that it was for Ty Getsus Gibbs. Young Teasus Gibbs. Let's see. If Ty came in winning like he did on the way up, it would have 100% been out immediately. I would have been out immediately. I would have 100% been out immediately, says Charlotte. Yeah, for sure. Look up Adam Stern's latest post, says Chase Johnson. If SVG keeps improving, it could help the decision for Trackhouse easier because I think he has much more room for improvement than Suarez. Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be interesting what Trackhouse does with Zilly in the wings there. Chase Johnson saying on X. So check out Adam Stern on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it there. Should Dave Moody be a play-by-play NBC announcer? Only for the NBA playoffs, OJ, for sure. I'm not a Billy Sandwich fan. Nepo babies be Nepo babies, and I'm not a fan, says Charlotte. I'm a huge Suarez fan, but he's just not getting it done at the moment. Would love to see him have a good run today, says Dirty Diff. For sure. Hopefully he can get it going here. He's kind of streaky, like Chase Briscoe. Like he'll run off a reel of really good races, and then he'll have a run of really bad races. He's lacking consistency. Alex Bowman, another type of driver that does that as well. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., another one. Did you start the 35 in fantasy today, says OJ and Toothpaste? Not today. I can't remember who I've got waiting in the wings. I think Chase Briscoe's waiting in the wings. He's in my garage. Ty Jeebus Gibbs says Shaw. I don't remember Larson qualifying so bad. Do you think it has something to do with how bad he did last week, says Escobar? I don't know. It might just be a long run car situation. I don't know what they got going on, but he's certainly got the best numbers here, and I'm still picking him to win overall as my pick. But by the numbers, you would pick either Hamlin or Ross Chastain here for sure. Me either, Charlotte, says Rosie. Why do you think Chase is struggling in the 9, says Maverick? I don't think he's struggling in the 9. Like I'm of the opinion that he's doing really well and having a good season because he's top 5 in points, or at least top 10 in points. So I don't know. The people saying he's struggling, I don't see it as a struggle. I think he's running really well. He's just not winning 5 races a year like a lot of fans want him to win. Why doesn't Eli Gold get much love from NASCAR? Did he have a falling out because of his legendary announcer that rarely ever gets mentioned, says Dirty Diff? I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that. I know he started off in hockey, and then he came to NASCAR, and then he went to Alabama football. And How all that stuff transitioned and whatnot, I'm not sure, but he certainly, I do expect him to be in the Hall of Fame. If he doesn't get into the Hall of Fame one day, it's going to be just as bad as Smokey Yunick being left out of the Hall of Fame in NASCAR. It's two big snubs in my opinion. There, who do you think will move up out of the HMS trucks first out? Corey Day or Raja? Seems like Day gets his experience this year and will likely be him. Was good to see Raja get the win. I like to see both of them up there. Flip a coin. It just depends on what ride opens up and which driver is going to take that opportunity. But Corey Day has the momentum right now behind him. But Rajah Caruth, I feel like, is just as good a prospect and a great story too. Rajah Caruth's dad's one of my favorite people in motorsports. He encouraged Rajah on his racing career, but he also made sure that he got his college degree too, so that if the racing thing didn't work out, Rajah would have something to fall back on. And so Rajah's dad's my favorite person in motorsports because if motorsports go sideways and you got to do something else for a living, the skills you learn in motorsports very, very rarely translate to the real world. So yeah, Rajah's dad, MVP. Do you like Kenny Wallace? Says OJ and Toothpaste. I do like Kenny Wallace. I think he's super fun for the sport too. Someone bring back TNN, says Escobar. TNN not coming back, but TNT is coming back. So there you go. Is there a bolts or bolt-on engine part that NASCAR could use to increase horsepower? A supercharger? You bolt that on, and it certainly would increase. There's all kinds of bolt-on parts. You could bolt on a bigger throttle body. So yeah, there's certainly parts you can bolt on that would improve horsepower for sure. Bigger fuel input, says Shah. So there you go. Maybe bigger injectors or something, or is what you're getting at. But throttle body, bigger throttle body would help too. Intake risers, all kinds of different stuff you could do. I'm a lifetime Alabama fan and was curious what happened between Eli and MRN because he vanished from the sport around 2016. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all either. Like it's, I don't know. I don't know. Bring back Jimmy Spencer on TNT and the crying towel, OJ. So he wants, hey, in between the lanes, jumped right in there with the crying towel. Dirty Def was just looking and said there was an undisclosed incident with MRN and Gold in April of 2016. Okay, so there was an incident. So we must investigate the incident. So whatever that is. Okay, the plot thickens, and now we're on NASCAR TMZ drama alert. What happened with Eli Gold and MRN? We'll reach out and ask some people and see what happened. I really will not. I will not do any work on that at all. Because I like Eli Gold and I don't want to know. I just don't want to know. So it is what it is. Bigger fuel input makes more need fuel. But with that soft as cheese tires, and there we go, says Shah. So there you go. He wants softer tires and a bigger intake. I'm thinking is what you're saying. Let's see. On Earth 2, the horsepower is 1,600. Yes. Until halftime, when we double it to 32, 32 halfway, we turn the boost switch up like they got in IndyCar. The push to pass just stays hung after halfway, and you've got 3,200 horsepower to work with in the Fiats. 750 horsepower. Just try it for freak's sake, says Shah. Next time I see Dave Moody at the track, I'm asking him about Eli. I swear I don't want to ask because I like Eli, says Dirty Def. Yep. Sometimes you just don't want to know, man. Like, I don't want to know. With Max Verstappen's contract clause, do you think he might try a NASCAR race next year? Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if he's interested in it. I don't know. That's a good question, though. It depends on whether or not he's interested in it. I know Lewis Hamilton might try it one year. Or he already has tried it, but he would probably be one that would be more interested in it. Daniel Ricciardo would be the one I would think would try a NASCAR race. Maybe we go 800 if need be, says Shah. I think they could easily get to 800. Eli Gold now does play-by-play for my local college here in Alabama, Jacksonville State University. He does all their football games now, says Dirty Def. Okay, so he's moved on to Jacksonville State. So he's no longer with the Crimson Tide. He is now with Jayville. All right. And LOL says OJ and Toothpaste. Final results of the poll question. McLovin, read them for us. Ross Chastain. at 41% is who you guys are picking to finish higher of the other three drivers. 26% for Denny Hamlin, 22% for Chase Elliott, and Chase Briscoe getting 11% of the vote. All right. Good luck to your drivers in this race. Hope they do well. And yeah, I'll catch you on Tuesday for the next live stream, and we'll pump out the videos. Until then, peace.